Welcome to the Young and the Restless, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Besson, alongside...
I'm the yummy mummy in the bank, but I don't have any children. I'm Jem.
This was every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, 9 a.m. on the YouTubes. I've already brain farted the next part. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/popculturists, the Discord, and other assorted social medias. Links are in the description below. Fuck, it's been a long day already. We are also on Twitch, twitch.tv/thepopculturists, where we use the power of WWE 2K19 to predict the outcome of pay-per-views. Yeah. Specifically, the most recent one, Money in the Bank. Oh, and of course, if you want to put money in our bank, popculturists.com/shop, sort of shit, logos on it. Fucking off to a killer start. Yeah, because the big problem I have right now is while I'm sitting here trying to be animated, like, my body fucking hurts.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, let's play Beat Saber, let's get fucking physical. And at the time, like, yeah, I'm getting into it. I'm getting like, because I was intending to stream it, so you guys would have all seen this. But then I was like, nah, Optus has been a dumpster. Mm-hmm.
Big old dumpster.
I'll just keep playing it anyway. So rather than just doing like simple things, I'm getting fucking flourishes in. I'm having a great... Everyone's gone to bed. I'm in here by myself. I got booming headphones on, and like the world didn't exist for me. So I'm fucking lightsaber kidding that shit. you know that old YouTube video, that a guy that comes and does lightsabers and like trips over rugs and shit.
Yeah,
that was me. But in here,
I love it.
All by myself.
Apparently tripping over tables and shit.
No, I punched the table. I punched this table.
Good job.
I went to do a big double slash, and then this hand went past the table. This one just punched the living fuck out of the table. So I have a series of video game related injuries. It's good times. But yes, Money in the Bank is what we're talking about. Yeah. Like that's the reason I'm kind of fucked, because like as I'm trying to like think and coerce, my back is just going, and my arms going, just so I'm a very unfit human. Yeah. Like, just thank you for agreeing.
You know what? I'm probably the same. That's why I'm agreeing, because I'm just like, yeah, me too. Yeah. Me too. I haven't even done it, and I'm sore. Yeah. Just listening to you, I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like,
twinge.
It's exhausting. Like at the time, it's like amazing. Like my Apple Watch, I think it may have thought I died. It's like you've done like 400 times your regular amount of exercise. Are you okay? Like, are you running from a chainsaw?
SOS.
Yeah. Should we call the police?
Police show up. No, I'm just playing Beat Saber, guys. You want to try?
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure that's happened before. Some guy was really getting into Beat Saber or something, and the neighbors called the police. And he's like, do you want to go? And the cops are like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And they get into Beat Saber.
Because I'm doing that. I fucking hurt. But yes, Money in the Bank.
Money.
So this past Monday, Money in the Bank did happen. Mm-hmm. Where the money is in the bank, but
it's actually a contract in a briefcase.
Above the name's very misleading because it's just a contract in a bag.
And I'm pretty sure it's not even a contract.
But I guess contract in the bag isn't as really kind of a good name as Money in the Bank.
Contract in a suitcase.
Yeah, so this is the sort of, aside from the main four, which is like your Rumble, your Mania, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam, this is probably like the fifth in terms of like huge pay-per-views.
Yeah, for the year. Real big.
Like, ideally, events that take place in this pay-per-view can have effects that go through the remainder of the year.
Yeah, it's a long
with the idea of someone holding this briefcase being able to cash in at any point to get that championship. Like majority of the time, it can set up some really cool and huge storylines. Yeah.
Some people, they've got a year to cash it in, so some people hold it until that last day. Like, so you never know. Some people cash it in on the night. Some people wait the year. So
well, it's so the longest I believe was Carmella with like 280 days or something.
Yes.
A long ass time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the card bit by bit. Yeah. And we'll break down those matches and go through them. And then obviously talk about what we thought of the matches themselves, as well as the pay-per-view overall. Now, one thing I did fail to mention at the start of the show was Patreon. And how if you're a Patreon supporter, you can watch us record these shit live.
You can talk to us live.
You know, all we would have seen was me mumble my way through the start. I'm pretty sure I started again, but I'm too deep now.
Yeah. Changing. Too far.
Alrighty, so let's start things off in the kickoff show. Now, the kickoff show was originally supposed to have 2 matches. Supposed to have the Cruiserweight Championship, which then got moved into the main roster.
Yeah, I did see.
And there was also the Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the Usos in a tag team. Now, originally, as far as the card that I read, it was supposed to be a championship match.
Yes.
Which makes no sense.
Yes.
Because Usos are on Raw.
Yes.
So it made even less sense.
But wildcard rule.
When the Usos won.
Yeah, because wildcard rule.
Wildcard rule. Because it's nice to know that the wildcard rule is also expanding its way into the pay-per-views. Yes. So rather than just being annoying on the weekly, it's now annoying on the monthly.
Yes.
It's just like a period. But yeah, so the show, like, yes, they did kick off with Daniel Bryan versus Rowan versus the Usos. Pretty solid match. Like, I got no major complaints here.
I forgot to watch it. I am so sorry.
No, like it was pretty stock standard. Like, as in terms of Usos did Uso-y things, and Rowan was the big dude, and Daniel Bryan was jumping and kicking shit. And it was pretty good. Like, I watched it at work while I was on paperwork before the main show kicked in. It was fine. It was just weird to have, hey, we've just given these guys the Smackdown championship belts, and they lose.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, it just doesn't. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it seems a bit of a thing. But from what I understand, the belts didn't change hands.
No, because it became a not title match anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, so like I said, from the card that I read,
Yeah, that's odd.
That was weird. Now I don't remember what the outcome was of the 2K19 predictor.
Yeah, unfortunately my internet was balls and I didn't get to watch.
I'm pretty confident that may have been
probably that.
I think it may have been Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
But the kicking off the main show was the women's ladder, Money in the Bank ladder match, including Natalya, Naomi, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, Bayley, and the replaced Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross.
Yes.
So Alexa Bliss was currently not medically cleared to compete. There's no clear statement as to how or why, but presumably we're looking at like some mild concussion-y concerns from some of the stuff that she's been facing since I think it was Hell in the Cell last year.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's any physical ailments because she doesn't look like she's
she's not hobbling, she's not injured, she's not strapped. So therefore, I think it's reasonable to believe that it may be just concussion
head
risks.
Injuries, yeah.
Sort of ongoing stuff. But this match was fucking dope.
Amazing. This was the perfect way to open the Money in the Bank. I kind of went into it being a bit like, meh, but things just happened so quick. Those girls were just slamming each other. There was ladders in the rings within a minute. Like, I was just like, oh, damn. Like, these girls are going ham.
Yeah. It was interesting because, like, it did start with sort of Naomi in the ring. Like, she was, like, her intro was in there. She's rocking a brand new outfit, different hairstyle.
Bumblebee
like a bumblebee, which was interesting. So there was a cool way to start. So that was somebody already in there, and then bit by bit they all came in, and that was fine. And but no, there was no fucking around. They were red hot, ready to go.
Amazing! Like right off the bat, like I think Nikki Cross did a little like apron doozy thingy where she like wraps people up in the apron. She ended up with 2 people in that like immediately. Like it was wild. There was some amazing shit there. Like people going through ladders, people snapping ladders. Like I was like, these women like. The men are gonna have to step up because this is a hell of a way to open a show. Yeah, and there was an interesting spot with Carmella and Mandy Rose. Yes. So Carmella got dropped on or her ankle racked in between a ladder. Yeah. And then as she's getting up in the ring, like Carmella, so Mandy keeps trying to get in, like Carmella's pushing away, but which is kind of interesting. It's not like I'm super injured. It's just like fuck off. It's like when you're dicking around with your friends when you're younger and they're like no fuck off. Like I'm hurting. Yeah, leave me alone.
Yeah. So she gets escorted out of the ring by the referees and the relevant parties. As fucking weirdly hiccup into the and gets taken out of the ring. So we assume she's done and dusted.
Yep. Yeah, I did.
There were some excellent spots with Bayley in between the ladders, and they're like literally just mushing
slamming, her. Yeah, Natalya and I think Mandy were like slamming her between the ladder. Dana Brooke, like they were all holding up the ladder. It wasn't even set up, and Dana was already climbing it, and they were like holding it up on her. That was amazing.
Yeah, and she did some old like Hardy hanging from the
she was hanging from the briefcase. Thing. Yep. I'm pretty sure at one point Ember Moon like did a moonsault or something.
So Ember did the eclipse from the outside. So in and racked Dana Brooke.
Yeah. She
the only one that didn't really do a whole bunch was like Natalya.
Yeah,
she was there, I guess. But there was a lot of really cool shit going on.
One of my other favorite parts was like there was like 4 girls, 2 on each ladder, and there was Naomi in the middle, and they've gone to run at her with them, and she just drops into the splits underneath them all, and they rack each other with a double.
Like, fingers.
It was amazing. Like some of those. Oh man.
But the big way it did end, so everyone was pretty much down and out at this point. Mandy Rose in the ring. Sonya Deville comes in. Fireman carries her up the ladder. As she gets to the top, bam! Out of nowhere comes Bayley. Bayley looks at him, and goes, "Hey," and then fucking socks him or pushes him, one of the two, and then proceeds to grab the briefcase. Bayley is the Miss Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Bear in mind, Carmella did come back.
Oh, yes,
Carmella
came back
at
beat the
one
piss
point.
out of Mandy
so
Rose
Mandy
in the
was climbing the ladder, and then, Carmella, like, beat the piss out of her, and that's when Sonya was like, get in the ring. Like, I think Sonya attacked, because there's no DQ. So Sonya attacked Mala, and then the whole, like, she threw Mandy in the ring. Mandy couldn't get up, so she just, like, fireman carried her. I was just like, oh, come on, this can't be how it ends. And then, Bayley's just up there staring at both of them, and they're like, oh, shit. It was just, the look was just perfect. I was just like, yes, like it's going to be Bayley in the bank. Like, come on. And she took down the briefcase, and I was like, oh, this was perfect.
Well, it's exactly the outcome I wanted. So, like, that's a positive for me. I wanted, my picks were either Bayley or Ember. And I think Bayley is probably the better pick of the two. For a number of reasons, I think she kind of earned it a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you want to go a bit inside baseball, I think it is kind of a mild reward, because although with Sasha Banks, who both her and Sasha have been in a very similar position for a very long time.
Yes.
So to have Sasha crack the shits. And I think that's why Bayley got crack the shits and not turn up to work. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why they've been given these opportunities to Bayley.
Yeah, exactly.
Now she's
proving
she's certainly earned those things, like in the ring, and sort of like no one just gives her the briefcase. She did have to climb there and get it herself. Yeah. So there's that. I think it's just more by giving her those spaces. It's them going, where. Clearly you're unhappy here, and that's fine. You can be unhappy with your workplace, but you're acting responsibly about it. Like, you are being an adult about it.
Yeah, exactly it. Which is, regardless, like, I think as a competitor, Bayley was the most... Sorry, my son's broken in again. But Bayley was the most capable, I think. She really showed throughout that entire match how resilient she was, how powerful she is. She stated on multiple occasions that, she's not a hugger anymore. She is a fighter, and she's going to prove that to people, that she's just not that soft, weakling Bayley.
One of the first, I think the first woman to be a Grand Slam. But she's had, both Raw and Smackdown, I believe. She had the NXT Women's Champion. She's also had the tag team.
First one, inaugural tag team.
She's got all the belts. All the 80 belts possible. Yeah. Within her time frame.
All power to her. Like, I'm so excited for this. Like, she's just amazing. Like, it was
I'm very, very, very happy with this outcome. I think it was the best way it could have gone, which I'm a big fan of. And Kilobyte is here, and he says, hopefully I haven't missed Jem's rant.
No, we're just getting started.
Getting this started. So, first of course, big shout out to Kilobyte. He's one of our chatters on the Discord. He has joined our Patreon at the incredible $20 tier.
Amazing.
That was just under the proviso to hear you
rant.
Now, understand that anyone can come join us with this show at any tier. Don't have to pay $20. You have to pay $10. You can pay fucking $1, and you can still come and watch us live. Yeah. So with that tier that Kilobyte did jump on, if he is local, which he may or may not be, he is welcome to come onto a show. So maybe he'll come and join us here.
Have a little round table on the square table.
But yeah, so Bayley, very happy with that outcome.
Yes, amazing.
Super awesome. Very, very cool.
So good. Do you remember what 2K19 predicted?
Ember Moon.
So's 2K19.
Wrong again.
Exactly it.
Yes, let's see.
Yep. Yeah, so next, Sami Zayn is at the back. Triple H is on the phone. Sami's interrupting him, trying to sort of, annoy him. H hangs up the phone, annoyed, obviously. Like, are you kidding me? What are you doing right now? And Sami's like, look, like, Braun Strowman, like, I'm freaking out. Like, what happened last week? Like, I'm really scared. Or this week, you need to protect me. I need protection. And Triple H is like, you want protection? Strap up your fists, kid. Like, he's like, if it makes you feel any better, Braun has been banned from the building, so he's not coming. So, just deal with it, kiddo, and sort of taps him on the shoulder and he leaves. And then that brings us to the next match.
Yes, the next match was the United States Championship with Rey Mysterio against Samoa Joe.
Yes.
This was a relatively quick match. It was very similar to The WrestleMania Pay Per View match was quite nice and tidy. We'll go straight for the spoilers. Rey Mysterio did defeat Samoa Joe via pinfall.
Questionable pinfall.
A questionable pinfall,
Yeah.
but it looks as if Joe had a ruptured face. So I think the decision may have come like that.
May have. I think it was more the referee was in a funny angle, so I don't think he saw the fact that Joe's shoulder was not
That
down.
is true. Like, Joe is a big dude, and I
Yeah.
understand, like, maybe, like, that, like, from the angle that you're looking at, it may look like his shoulders are down. But, like, from the angle that we saw as...
Yeah, we saw full-on shoulder
he's,
way
like,
up in the
good,
air.
like, this much up. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
very clearly up.
So it's hard to say. But, yeah, he did end up with a pretty, what looked like shattered nose from a seated senton, I believe it's called.
I think it may have been.
So, yeah, Ray sort of jumped on his shoulders, but as he's landed, ass on face. So,
yeah, it looks like he's popped the nose out
just
a little
quickly, nose just started pissing out blood. There was blood under his eye. I don't know if something else might have happened to his eye or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it's looking pretty brutal. But other than that, it was like a pretty solid match. I enjoyed it. It was it was over way quicker than I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Not the outcome I wanted. I still wanted Joe to retain.
Yeah.
But it looks as if with that knock to the face, it has kind of dazed out Joe.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Safety
like,
first.
It's there.
Like,
it's totally there.
Yeah, you've got to remember that they are athletes. They are performing what can essentially be a dangerous sport. Like, so things like that, you're out of safety for Joe and possible concussions and things like that. Sometimes, you've just got to call it for that.
Yes,
that
even though this is
safety.
like a physical sport,
Yeah.
they punch each other and they knock.
Yeah.
There are still those lines in place, and I understand the concussion risk here. When you look up and you see a dude fucking blurry-eyed, busted face,
Yeah.
it's like.
And the
we're
amount he was
gonna
bleeding
have
too.
to wrap this up very quickly, and then sure enough, bam, Ray's got the pin. So it's like, all right, cool, fuck yeah, get out of the way. It's really out here.
And what I loved is Dominic did come out obviously a little bit celebratory, and then next minute Joe's just back for a savage beatdown. Like it's just like storybook Joe, like he just can't control
Which
his
is
emotions.
awesome. So even though like
that's what I wanted.
Like the concern there's like, fuck, is he damaged his face? Like, no, he's fine.
He's fine. He's literally storming down,
he's literally
pissing
just
out,
wrecking
just ready to
faces.
doze.
Don't matter.
But yeah, Ray did obviously cop a bit of a beat down. Joe was a bit extra malicious about it in front of Dominic. He did eventually get kicked out, and Dominic took Ray.
So speaking of Grand Slam, this does also put Rey Mysterio within the Grand Slam, in a Grand Slam by having all belts at some point.
Yeah, so it was the only title he hasn't held, and now he's holding it. So good for you, Ray. Proud of you.
Right.
I've watched this whole thing.
And Kilobyte does jump in and as well. At least Mysterio is a Grand Slam champ now as well.
Yes.
So yes, that's certainly a good thing.
So yeah, after that we do get Braun Strowman just doing down backstage screaming,
whipping
Sammy, where's
whipping
Sammy?
tubs and shit.
Yep, looking for Sami
I don't
Zayn.
know what all these empty tubs are for, but man, if they weren't, if
I feel like it's power cable.
I don't know what they're
stuff
doing.
Like
it makes sense.
Yeah,
It's
it'd be
all the
like power
rigging.
cables, rigging and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely.
I'm like, who keeps
maybe
those
lunch
empty tubs
boxes?
Yeah, this is where all the food's kept. So Dash also adds, hey guys, quick note here. Today's the 20th anniversary of WWF Over the Edge 1909, the day Owen Hart passed away.
No.
The biggest tragedy in pro wrestling.
Yeah, that was devastating. I believe he was like.
It was a zip line in?
Yeah, zip lining in, and he fell, and I think
I think he collected the stairs. It was very, very horrible.
Yeah, that was tragic. Rest in peace,
so
Owen.
like, look, that is ahead of my time.
Yeah,
way ahead of my time in terms of wrestling.
Yeah.
But that is certainly a horrible tragedy. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's like it's horrible to think that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because like even though like it's ahead of my time, so it's before my time. Like it's something that you know about.
Yeah.
Like when you come into wrestling, back into wrestling, like there are things that you know about, and that is one of them. But as you said, from here, our heart goes out to the Hart family.
Yeah.
Because it'd be a horrible thing to have to think about
remember now. Yeah, exactly it.
It's 20 years later.
Yeah, crazy.
But yeah, so Braun Strowman threw a bunch of empty tubs around.
Looking for Sammy, even though he's
Sammy,
banned from the building.
apparently Sammy hides in tubs. Which makes sense.
But that brings us to the steel cage.
It does. This was
match.
Shane McMahon against The Miz in a steel cage match.
Yes.
It starts with a pretty solid beatdown, man.
Yeah, The Miz was mad.
The second that bell rang, Shane was like, fuck, and went straight for that. Like, he did that proper chicken shit heel stuff and just ran to the fences.
Yeah.
And started climbing. But Miz had none of it.
None of
Absolutely.
it. You could tell the Miz had absolutely no interest in getting out of the ring. He just wanted to brutalize Shane.
Well, that was his whole motivation for having it in the steel cage, just so he can't escape.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, they should have requested like a Hell in a Cell with a roof.
Yeah.
Like, but I guess that may come in time.
I suppose maybe Miz just wanted to throw him off the top of it. Who knows? Who knows? Miz's
That's one that was certainly obvious. Like, so every time that Shane got to the top, Miz was far behind trying to suplex him again. That was his whole sort of goal. Now throughout, like they have having throughout, but while in the ring, like there was an excellent skull crushing finale onto a chair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there was like Miz got like a figure 4 in or something, and Shane's like trying to drag himself out the door while he's still locked into this damn thing, and then he somehow gets a chair into the ring while he's at it, and Miz is just like, nah. You see them like on either side of the chair, and Miz is just like, yoink, gets it first and just beats down with like 100 chair shots.
And shit.
And then, the skull-crushing finale on it. At one point, I believe Shane goes for the door again and Miz grabs his legs and he does like a slingshot thingy. But, like, Shane catches the edge and starts climbing up. And Miz is like, oh, shit.
There was an interesting ref decision in here. There was a rope break on a pin or a submission, one of the two. Which is no DQs in it in a steel cage. That was an interesting move.
Yeah.
Especially just after coming back from the questionable pinfall from Ray and Joe.
Yeah.
So it was very weird to see that again.
I thought it may have been either Shane's paid somebody a little bit extra this week, or the referee's like, shit, I don't want to lose my job.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of those things like, you've got your boss in front of you, your pressure's on. Have you ever tried, when you've got your boss over your shoulder?
Yeah.
It's like,
I work in a little store and my boss is always there and I'm like,
But lots of times Shane trying to get over the top. It got to a point where Miz has got him ready to show the super suplex. We almost saw a skull crushing finale from the top rope.
That would have been amazing.
Fucking love to have seen that. So as
Oh no, I just remembered when the ref made that call about the rope break, everybody was like chanting bullshit.
Yeah.
bullshit. It was so good. Like the ring announcers are just like, clearly the crowd are displeased and trying to talk over their swearing. It was so good.
So Miz has Shane ready for a superplex over the top. Now this is common knowledge that Shane McMahon is one of the sweatiest people ever to meet.
Yes.
He goes from 0 to sweaty in 8 seconds.
Yeah.
It's impressive. So as Miz has Shane, the sweat gets too much. The shirt gets damp, and
just slides.
Just fucking Shane drops out, hits the ground, tummy out, and it's just
his shirt comes with him, and he's just like.
Yeah, he's like
throws his shirt back over his tummy, so he's got
the Shane guts come out, which is I got guts on it, mine.
The McDad boy.
But yeah, he's down, and Miz is left being like, what the fuck?
He's like at the top of the ring, like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
I was just like, oh.
It's almost like the top of an ice cream falling off. It was like,
it's just like, oh, I was enjoying that.
It's a real bummer because like this is 2 for 0 in Shane's favor, so. It's a real bummer for Miz. Miz he's not sort of been able to get his redemption for baked potato Miz.
I mean, he has beaten the living shit out of Shane.
So he's done some damage, but in the world of professional wrestling, it is about those wins. Those wins are where it's at.
Yeah.
Because without those wins, he retains the best in the world.
Yeah.
And there's no change to that, which is a real bummer. What do you think of the match?
Look, overall, I was pretty stoked with it. I think, again, like you, I wasn't too happy with the ending, but it was a pretty good match, considering that all Shane was trying to do was get out of the ring, and the Miz was just completely foiling it every time. I was really impressed with how on top of Shane the Miz was. So it was a good match. I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
no, like I said, I enjoyed it. It certainly wasn't brilliant. I did originally think it may be one of the highlights of the night. I was when I was looking at the card before the pay per view. I was like, "Oh, cool! This is gonna be a fucking killer match."
Yeah,
and it was certainly good. It wasn't brilliant. There's a lot in there that was really cool.
Yeah.
But that lot, you should have accounted for the wettest man in wrestling.
Yes.
But I guess that's fine.
Should have put a harness on him.
I do wonder whether this sees the end of the feud between the two. I would like to see more, and I would also like to see them sort of do potentially literally the trophy on the line for the best in the world rematch.
Yes, that would be good. Yeah. That would be good. But yeah, quickly we get an announcement that there is going to be a new WWE title. And
that was a big old surprise.
Yeah, Mick Foley will be announcing it on Raw the following night. So that was super interesting. Dash did just say please no more about Shane and The Miz. no, too bad. We want it.
I want it, but not this outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want to see Miz fight.
I am enjoying heel Shane. I do like heel Shane.
Mm-hmm.
However, I also do agree with Dash that it is kind of hitting its end point.
Yeah.
But
feel like
it's
next
just
match
this
is the last
idea of like
match.
this big setup for, especially with the redemption of Babyface and Miz. I do still want to see Mr. Miz versus Vince.
Yeah.
I doubt that will ever happen. That's not fucking happening. But that'd be ideal.
Yeah. Kilobyte did just say, I'm with Dash. For the love of God, please end this feud.
Well, we're in the minority here. And I'm fine with it.
We clearly are. But yeah, and after that it cuts to Triple H and a bunch of trainers running backstage, and you hear over here, and they turn a corner and they run back, and it looks like Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn looks like he's been brutalized. He's hanging upside down from a fence. Yep, so he's hanging from his feet. So yeah, they're trying to get it like cut him down, and Triple H just sort of pushes the camera out of the way, and conveniently there's a curtain for him to draw back.
Pulls the curtain. The curtain's not quite long enough, so you can't still see it anyway.
Yeah. It was very interesting.
The implication here is the Braun has done
finally
this.
gotten him.
This is the interesting part. Like, that's very un-Braun behavior.
Yes.
Like, although Braun he's known to lash out violence, but this is meticulous. This is a bit extra. Like, you know, this is not what he normally does.
Yeah.
Like, it would be more likely him to throw him in a bin or put him in a car and flip that car. Like, big moments of strength.
Yeah.
Rather than meticulous shit like this. Like vindictive shit like this.
Yes.
So my initial thought was, holy fuck, is this some Bray Wyatt shit?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, who would have done this? Like,
because that's very much not a Braun thing.
Yeah.
Next up was the Cruiserweight Championship. Tony Nese against Ariya Daivari. Now, I gave 0 Fs about this. So, congratulations for the Cruiserweights finally becoming on the main roster.
Yeah, that was
the main
nice.
roster, the main card.
Yeah. Tony Nese did retain.
Yeah, don't care.
Yeah, that's
I don't watch 205, and the only reason I cared vaguely about Cruiserweight was when Buddy Murphy held it, because he's Australian.
Yeah, Australian.
If it wasn't Australian, wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. So Dash also jumps in and goes, the feud has been going on since September. Has it really?
No, I don't think it's been that long.
I don't think it's been that long. It's certainly been a couple of months, but I don't think it's been since September. It's not as long, unless they set up some really early setups.
I only really got back into wrestling after I moved out. Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely not been that long. It's been It's been long. Yeah, it's been at least 6 or so months. But yeah, after this, Triple H finds Braun Strowman, and he's like, look, I know what you did. I know why you did it. It was from November. Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Still a fucking long ass time now you mentioned November. Yeah.
Well, obviously it kind of sort of started with the Best in the World thing. Yeah, that's true. So Triple H finds Braun, and he's just like, look, I know what you did. I know why you did it, but you're not getting the place in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
You're not getting it back.
Braun's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And H is like, look, I'm not accusing you or nothing, but... I'm just going to be really polite about this. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And Braun's like, I honestly don't know what you're talking about, but whatever, and leaves. Yeah. But yeah, Braun I was a bit confused because Braun clearly doesn't know what's going on. So I was like, who's
Which it kind of added fuel to that fire, like, who did this? And spoilers, by the end of this, we still really don't know. Yeah. It is May. It is almost June.
It is almost June.
Yeah, it's like almost 7 months. Yeah, no, I get your point. Yeah, it's a fucking long ass time.
Yeah.
Fuck, I keep forgetting that's almost June.
Yeah.
Wow, this year's gone so fast.
It's the last week of May.
This year's gone so fast.
Yeah, it has.
Next was the Raw Women's Championship. Well, we've done now fucking like 25 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
That's 25 weeks. That's almost half a year.
Yeah, crazy.
So Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. This was pretty alright.
Yeah. I'll give props to Lacey with her little outfit. She come out with like the money cannons and stuff like that. Little money guns. Yeah, that was really cool.
I did giggle out loud. Like, I literally went when she pulled out because she came out in like money green, but also sort of an army green sort of sequined thingy, because
big old floppy hat.
Prior to entering the WWE, Lacey Evans was a Marine. It kind of works in that sense. The money gun, very Tomb Raider-esque, was very, very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Becky Lynch came out in her usual, like, almost Bruce Lee inspired suit that she's been rocking since Mania.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so the match was... It was fine.
Yeah.
It was nothing brilliant.
Yeah. It was more than I was expecting from Lacey Evans, to be perfectly honest, because we haven't seen too much of her and what she's capable of. So I think...
Well, we've seen her mush some random fucks, but like, not really
But
properly.
actually, like... actually, like, wrestling, I was pretty impressed with... Pretty impressed with her. I mean, except for the start when, like, Becky was just laying the Smackdown and she just did a little runner. But yeah, other than that, like, she really did. She did some quality stuff. Like, I was really impressed with her. Especially, like, when everybody's chanting Becky 2 belts and she's just like, la, 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 la. I was like, what are you, 12? Like, I love this. Do it again.
Yeah. What the issue that I have with this match, once again, is the outcome. Not that Becky won. It was just...
How quickly?
Not even that. It was just, there was this... Going from like a pin to the disarm her, like, was really fast and janky.
Yeah.
And
it's like a little bit of lag.
And Lacey tapped fucking fast.
Immediately, yeah.
Yeah, like no
That pissed
shit,
me off.
just like within like that.
Yeah, like the arm hadn't even been fully extended and Lacey was like, ah!
Yeah. Like, once again, outcome, Becky. I wanted Becky to win, and
definitely.
Becky totally had that win. I certainly predicted this would go first as well, mostly because it was the lesser of the two.
Yeah.
Like, Charlotte would deliver a better match. We've seen them deliver a better match.
Yeah.
That's the only issue with this, is we have seen her deliver this match a ton of times.
Yeah. Yeah, I did get a bit of a kick out of everybody, like, singing Becky's theme song. Like, Lacey's in the ring, she's standing there. She did this little thing where she, like, pats her hair and then she pats her ear and then she, like, her armpit, and then she, like, rubs the little napkin thingy in Becky's face, and I was just like, ew, like, you call yourself a lady, you grotty bitch. Yeah. You dirty grot.
That's not very ladylike.
Not ladylike at all, you dirty grotty thing.
Mo.
Yeah, exactly. You're too sweaty to be a lady.
Yeah, girls have sweat. That's the rules.
Yeah, exactly it. But yeah, look, I was okay with the match, I guess. Like, I'm not really that invested in the trash can, so.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, it's all it really shows is that Lacey was talking a big fucking game.
Yes.
Because the second that she got in that disarm, she's out. Like, she's a big old piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, just talking about this, the women's right, claims to be a big, powerful fucking thing. Yeah, I'm sure what you do. But then second you get her in that mild confrontation, she's fucking done.
She's done.
Yeah.
I think the best part of the match was when Lacey left and Charlotte came barreling down like, come on, Becky, you, right now.
Yeah, let's go now.
This.
So, and all the announcers were like, oh man, this match isn't scheduled for later, blah, blah, blah. But it's exactly how I would have wanted to see it. And it was brilliant. So Charlotte comes out, big shit eating grin. She's like, no, we're going now.
And she knows that she can taunt Becky too. She knows Becky. She knows what gets Becky ticking.
Well, because that's the thing.
Because they're former best friends.
Yeah. As friends prior to their little angry shit right now.
Yeah.
Like you would presume that they would know each other well, and for that reason they know how to get each other's head.
Yes. But of course Becky obliges. She hands over the Smackdown belt. She's like, all right, let's do this. Match is on. Yeah. Again.
Yeah, a solid match. It's something
match.
Once again, something we've seen before, so no major complaints there, because they can both deliver a pretty solid match.
Yeah, I love that cartwheel thing that Charlotte does over the ropes, where like somebody she cartwheels into the rope and then over it into the apron. Like, that's really freaking cool. I love watching her do that.
So the win via pinfall went to Charlotte. So Charlotte has now she was already had the record as the 8th time women's champion. It's now 9. She's 2 ahead of
Charlotte 9 reigns.
Yeah, Charlotte 9 reigns. But what was interesting was, as this goes down, Bayley walks out. Didn't she?
No. So what happens is, the way it went about was Charlotte went for a natural selection on the apron. Becky got out of it and Charlotte ends up on the floor and Becky rolls back into the ring. And as she's resting, ref's counting out at Charlotte. Doesn't see what happens. Yeah, Lacey comes barreling down with a woman's right. And
that's how unforgettable Lacey is.
Yeah, exactly it. So Becky recovered. Becky sort of Charlotte gets back in the ring. Becky goes for Charlotte goes for something. Becky ends up getting her in a roll up. Where am I? Yeah. Flair ends up like kicking out, and she ends up big booting like a big old doos to the face for Becky, and that knocks her out completely, and she gets the win.
Yeah, so without that interference, that was the situation. It was that interference.
Exactly. It was an interference by Lacey Evans that ultimately caused it. And then Lacey and Charlotte just decided to take the beat down to Becky. Like they just,
that's right.
Yeah, just started attacking the living shit out of her, and the crowd's like chanting, "We want Bayley!" And then lo and behold, after the chant stopped, Bayley comes barreling down with her Money in the Bank case to help Becky out.
Let's see. So Dash is also added, would have preferred Bayley run in during the match, not after. As this just adds more to Charlotte's resume of absolutely nothing, which I totally agree with. I think my prediction was that Becky would still win, which put an end to that feud, and then I did predict a cash in, but post match.
Yeah.
On presumably Becky.
Yeah, who would have been
which
correct.
Which would have been fine. There are a couple issues. I believe that's the better outcome because I said similar to, and Killer Bite agrees as well, is why give this extra bump to Charlotte. She doesn't need it. It's just putting her above. But I also understand is like it's one of those situations of, it changes the motivations of Bayley. By having her cash in on Charlotte, it's that face versus heel shit, right? But if Bayley comes in and turns on Becky, it will instantly look heely, whether her intentions were just for the belt. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this keeps them both face, doesn't even keep Becky strong. Well, it kind of does. She's got to feed.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me,
I got so spoilers. Bayley runs in, cashes in on Charlotte, gets the pin, because Charlotte's fucking unconscious by the looks, and then Bayley is now your women's Smackdown champion. I
think it's good for Bayley because I think it lights up this new feud between Bayley and Charlotte. I think Bayley's really wanting to cement herself and stay on Smackdown. Like she's, this is my brand. I'm going to be running this. But it also, I was thinking this as well, and Craig has just popped in and said his prediction is that Bayley's headed for a heel turn, and you've heard it here first.
Yeah, no, we predicted the same.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing because she has been saying in the upcoming weeks that, she's not hugging anymore. She's going to be a fighter. So I'm thinking that maybe she's, something's ticking over and she's sort of getting a bit bad girl Bayley.
Killer Bite has jumped in and said Bayley could have still cashed in during the match and still been a face if she pinned Charlotte. Doesn't she have to pin Becky? Because doesn't that instantly end the match between Becky and Charlotte, putting Charlotte out, giving the Becky, and isn't that what it becomes? That's my understanding of how the cash in works.
Not sure.
So I think for that reason, Dash also adds in, not necessarily if she cashed in, it turns to a triple threat and pins Charlotte. Still a feud with Charlotte, and Becky goes off to Raw and focus on what her thoughts are. Well, that's what I wanted. The outcome of this was to end that feud between Becky and Charlotte, separate the two, had it over there. I thought ideally it would go the idea of Bayley coming in, cashing on Becky, pinning Becky, and Charlotte's like, you took that from me.
Yeah.
You came in and did it dirty. But the feud here of you got pinned fair and square isn't as fun for a feud.
It'd be the same sort of thing as Mania when Charlotte was like, you didn't actually beat me for that championship. You beat Ronda. You didn't take it from me
that's
directly.
bullshit because you still lost technically.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's triple threat rules.
Yeah.
And I guess I understand why they didn't do that angle here because that would be a repeat of Mania.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of uneventful. It's very boring.
I liked the way it went.
But the dash the spot on Charlotte did not need this win, and I completely agree.
I liked it. It gave a bit more flavor and a bit more. It's like loving to hate Baron Corbin. It's the same thing with Charlotte. It makes me love to hate her more. Yeah. She shouldn't have won it, but she did, and now I'm angry at her. But it makes me want to watch more.
I'm not angry. The difference is I'm not angry. I'm fucking apathetic towards it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It just gives her that extra flavor that I'm just like, I want to see more.
Yeah, it just puts her that little bit over. It just makes that idea of anyone wanting to chase that number isn't very, it's just making that line distance for no reason.
I'm the super unpopular one here, but I absolutely love Charlotte. I love what she is and what she does, and I love her. I love Charlotte. I love what she does. She just so good at it. I love watching her. I find I'm always engaged listening to her speak and watching her wrestle, and I love to hate her.
Yeah.
Absolutely love her.
Next up was a bunch of backstage shit with Elias. Elias jacked Roman Reigns with the guitar.
He did. Fully stalked him.
Yeah, proceeds to make way in his ring. Pulls out an electric guitar this time. Plays a song. All well and good. Actually, it was kind of balls. Roman Reigns comes out and then proceeds to fucking dust him and get the win in 48 seconds.
I did love that as Elias is walking out, he's talking like, I can't wait to get out of this hellhole. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do what all you people want to do and leave. And as he's walking out, he's like, wait. I'm going to leave you with one more thing. My pose. And he goes like this. And then next minute, Roman Reigns does him like on the ramp. And yeah, it ends up being a good time.
Can you not come in the room and just yell boobies, please, James? Because her name is Jem. But yeah, so this match between Roman Reigns and Elias was shit. I gave zero fucks to that at all.
James talking about boobies is more entertaining.
That is certainly true.
Oh gosh. Oh. Yeah, it was a poor excuse for a match. It wasn't a match. It was just.
Out, buddy. Say goodnight. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
James going to bed. Go to bed. Please go to bed.
Yeah, ridiculous.
You need to sleep.
Yeah, bad time.
I don't have anything to say about it because I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, nothing against Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
No, kind of. It's like the feuds that they're putting him in, I just don't.
Yeah. And yeah, it was a case of like, Superman punch, throws Elias in the ring, officials ring the bell, and then a spear and a pin. Like, it was over in like 10 seconds. Yeah. Like, it was a waste of time, and I don't rate it.
Yeah, and I just simply couldn't care.
Yeah. I really would have liked to see a full match out of Elias. Like, Elias is a phenomenal performer. We've seen him wrestle before. I love what he does. I feel like, he's very... he and Roman are very much the same size, the same stature. I feel like there could have been something really amazing right there. And they just squandered it. Completely squandered it so Elias could have a sing. Like, whoop-de-doo. Like, he did terrible. Like, the guy can sing. He did absolutely terrible.
Yeah, and it's one of those segments no one gives a fuck about.
Yeah, I didn't care. I wanted to see that match. I wanted to see these two big, burly, same-sized dudes, same athletic capabilities. I wanted to see them, like, properly, like, biff it out, like, punch for punch. Like, it would have been amazing, especially because, like, Elias does have that little bit of high flying. He likes to get on the top ropes, whereas Roman doesn't. So that gives him that little bit of an edge. Yeah. It really would have given it something. And nah, I was pissed.
Yeah, well, certainly the low light of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm annoyed. What's the point?
Yeah.
Like, you should have just kept the cruiserweights on the...
Well, even the cruiserweight was a low light too. So, like, these are the moments where I was like, I'm going to go to the toilet.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did. Like, I was like, cruiserweights should have stayed on the main show, on the kickoff show, and they should have just had a longer match, but no.
Yeah.
Can't always go all along.
Yeah. Next up... was the Universal Championship match between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And it was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, phenomenal. Like AJ, it was phenomenal. You should be in bed, buddy.
Go to bed. Please. Bye, buddy.
Yeah, so I always forget this fact, but AJ Styles, when he held the Universal Championship, I believe, he reigned for 371 days.
He did indeed.
That's almost a year. And I believe that's the... Yeah, it is.
It is.
Because 365. Yeah. For some reason, I thought 375. Yeah, so that was really cool information. I love when they tell little tidbits about that because I didn't see his reign, so I don't know. Yeah, it was a really mixed crowd. It was like half the crowd was for AJ, half the crowd was for Seth. It was really engaging in that respect. I love when it's real 50-50. Like, you just don't know what you're going to get out of the crowd. You don't know what you're going to get out of the match. Yeah. Like, it was a really good match. Those two are phenomenal in the ring.
It was brilliant. Like, watching, like, as an ideal, like, for me, it was all Seth. Like, that's who I wanted. AJ's well and good, but I find him so fucking boring.
Yes.
Like, there is nothing that entertains me about him. He said maybe his intro is kind of okay.
Yeah. The wrestler is Billy Ray Cyrus.
Not his movements. But they were both... In terms of performance,
athleticism,
solid. Yeah, there were so many beautiful near falls.
Yeah,
that I'm like,
on edge the entire time.
Yeah,
there was like this beautifully synced moment where they were right on the edge of like a last second count out. They were both out of the ring, and they both just perfectly in the exact same movement, in the exact same sync, rolled into the ring, and I was just like, they're the same.
Well, because it's
like Mario and Luigi.
So this one was so brilliant. So the setup moving into this match was the idea that Seth Rollins was supposed to be the new AJ Styles. Like that was sort of the thing when he was coming involved, apparently.
Yes.
So I understand why they sort of had that sort of that blow for blow sort of really tight match, and it was awesome. There's a lot of good reversals, a
couple of suicide dives from Seth Rollins. Like he did 2 in a row, and AJ, it was so good. There was
there was a lot of good sort of semi-technical shit with a little bit of air, stuff like air, dodging stomps, and there was the calf crusher in there. There was all this sort of cool shit.
Yeah.
And then there was the Styles clash, which was fucking dope.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was definitely one of the highlights of the pay-per-view
I thought
so
that
far.
I see the Styles clash all the time. Apparently, I'm getting the real life confused with 2K19 because apparently it doesn't do it that often.
Crazy.
In the actual ring, which sort of blew my mind.
Yeah, it was really, really, really good. Seth does retain, which we were obviously really hoping for, in a phenomenal display of athleticism.
Yeah.
He had really upped his game for this match. He was 110%. But
absolute solid match.
Yeah, as he's celebrating, AJ Styles comes barreling back down to the ring and just stands in the middle of the ring and he sort of swallows his pride and he goes,
Bulls.
Hand out. Yeah. And Seth is just takes him a second. He's like, yeah, right. And they have a little handshake, and then AJ leaves, and that was beautiful.
Yeah,
that was such a good display of sportsmanship.
It was nice to sort of have this whole story end in a mutual respect.
It's a good conclusion to it.
Sadly, neither of them turn, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it was just. It was a nice way to sort of tidy up that.
Yes,
so
it's a
no
good
real
way
complaints there. Worked out well.
Yeah.
Next up was the beginnings of an unscheduled match. The Lucha House Party walk out. Oh, no, what I missed?
No.
What I missed?
So you missed Kofi and Xavier are backstage, and they're talking to, I've forgotten her name already, the blonde question lady, I'm pretty sure.
Let's call her Blondie.
Yeah. And they're talking to her, and she's like, obviously, everybody's questioning the fact that, can you do it on your own because you have gotten the title from the New Day. Even KO said that. And Kofi's like, look, I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't have this title without the New Day, but I am also my own athlete. And this is something that spoke to me straight away, was he was wearing his old colors, his Jamaican sort of yellow and green and black. I was like, oh, okay, I see what he's doing here, because Xavier was in the blue, the New Day shirt. I was like, oh, I see what he's doing here. Is I can do this alone. And I've asked, Xavier's like, look, I know you've asked me to stay backstage here. I'm going to do that for you. I'm not going to come out at all. This is all you, man. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to prove tonight that I can do this alone. I don't need anyone. I can take KO on. And then we get into so
we get this announcement of a, it's essentially a tag match.
Yeah, six-man tag match.
Yeah, six-man tag match. Lucha House Party come out. I'm like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah, I was really confused. I was like, when was this scheduled?
I hate Lucha House Party the best of times.
Yeah.
And then you sort of add them into this, I'm like,
yeah.
But thankfully, Lars Sullivan comes out and washes them.
Yeah. I hated this. I absolutely friggin' hated it. We're seeing this every week on Raw. It's not something you need to put on every show, actually. It's not something you needed to put in the main event. Obviously, me personally, we've heard obviously behind the scenes, Lars Sullivan's a bit of a piece of shit. So I don't think he deserves to be on a main event. I don't think he's earned that yet.
Well, he's not he's not main eventing yet.
On a pay-per-view. Yeah, sorry. I keep doing that.
Yeah,
pay-per-view main event. But he doesn't deserve to be on the pay-per-view. I don't know where to go with this. I absolutely hated this. Lucha House Party are nobody's doing nothing. They're literally just getting their asses handed to them every week by Lars Sullivan.
Well, and that's my concern. I enjoyed it more when it was Lars fucking up just people just consistently. Just who's around, you're getting wrecked.
Yeah.
But now that he seems to be, for some reason, I'm all fucking tangled in cords and shit. The Lucha House Party wants to tackle exclusively Lars Sullivan.
Yeah.
That is stupid, and I want none of that. Absolutely. Yeah. Fuck this shit.
But yeah, it's so ridiculous. Kilobyte has said the Lucha House Party are far better on 205 Live than they are on Raw, and I don't doubt that.
Because that's
their weight class. They're with the right people doing the same things as them. Obviously, they're better performers. They should not be pegged against Lars Sullivan. It's frustrating for me because this was a huge downer for the whole thing for me, and I was a bit like, do I even want to watch the rest of this? If you're doing this now, what the hell is else to come? Yeah. This is gonna ruin the whole night. I hate it. I've seen enough of Lars Sullivan. I want to see him in an actual match. I want to see somebody take him on and actually give him a run for his money. Yeah. I'm sick of seeing him just bowl through people. Yeah. I'm bored of it.
Who would you want to see him take on?
I believe they announced at that he's taking on Braun at Super Showdown?
No, Braun's taking Bobby Lashley.
Oh, is he? Oh. I'd like to see him take on Braun. So I got that wrong. Yeah, Braun's taking on Bobby Lashley. I would like to see Lars Sullivan versus Braun, and I feel like it's going to happen at some point because they're both the same size, they're the same stature, they're both just vicious
meat
monsters. I just want to see them tear each other apart. I reckon it'd be really, really cool. But I'm just sick of this just beating up people. Like, put him in a real match against real people. Like, make it happen. Because I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of it.
Moving on, the WWE Championship match, Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Vicious. Absolutely vicious. KO was on the onslaught straight away. I was like, oh, Kofi gonna die. Yeah.
I'm starting to really understand why people love Kevin Owens, man.
Yeah.
Like, because he just bounced out as I started watching. Like, I think he got double knee surgery or whatever. Dash something goes, Rockstar Spud is on Twitter looking for we'll get to that in the next episode.
Yeah.
What Archer's up to right now. But yes, I'm really understanding what people love Kevin Owens. He's good, he's vicious, he's brutal. Like, face Kevin Owens was awesome for that short quit, and then heel to kill Kevin Owens. Fuck.
Yeah, heel Kevin Owens is amazing. I love that, like, at one point he's, like, stomping a mud hole in Kofi. And he's like, that's why this is my show. And I was like, yeah, it is, Kevin. You tell him. Yeah. I was really getting into it when he was yelling.
My personal favorite part was at the end. After receiving, like, 3 Trouble in Paradises, he's like, nah, fuck this. Takes off Kofi's shoes and pegs him.
Yeah, pegs him.
He's like, because the shoes are what hurt.
Yeah. I love it. He's just taunting the crowd. He's just... KO is just so good at being bad, and I love it. He's
couple of stunner attempts as well.
Yeah, a couple of stunner attempts. There was one point where Kofi was launched into the ring post off the apron, and then landed on a cameraman gut first. Poor thing. And then straight off that, like, he's laying on the floor, like, grabbing his thing, and KO's like, perfect time, and just frog splashes him on the floor. I was just like, oh
yeah, that was rad.
That was vicious, like, off the apron onto the floor, like, that was brutal. But yeah, there was a stunner counter where Kofi countered the stunner into the SOS just beautifully.
I love the SOS.
Oh, the
so
SOS
much.
is so good. But yeah, it took off Kofi's shoes and pegged them. But yeah, then KO ends up on the top rope, and I think he goes for a bomb, a senton bomb or something like that.
Yeah, he senton bombs.
Yeah, he senton bombs, and Kofi.
I remember watching him and like, holy shit! Like that,
he can jump.
Yeah, like that
white man can jump.
That big dude can flip. You know what I mean? It's like, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was so good. And Kofi ends up getting the knees up and manages to get a Trouble in Paradise for the win. Beautiful win by Kofi. Barefoot. Well, barefoot. He had socks on, but he was barefoot with his grey and pink socks on, which are my favourite colour combination at the moment. So good job, Kofi. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. And obviously Woods does come out to celebrate. It was a beautiful moment. Solid match.
One outcome. Worked out well.
Yeah,
thoroughly.
It was such a good match. I didn't know Kevin Owens had that much in him. I was really impressed. I was like, yeah, you jump off that top rope, goddamn.
All right, finally.
Money in the Bank.
We get to the men's Money in the Bank. Featuring Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, Randy Orton, Andrade, and Ali. So as mentioned, Sami Zayn was unable to compete after fucking hanging upside down.
Braun Strowman was not put in the match, so it turned into a 7-man.
That's true. It did become a 7-man match. My favorite part is as everyone comes in, which is always fun. Ding, ding, ding. Randy Orton just like
cleans house.
He's like, thunk, and he's out. Like, in a second. Everyone goes at each other. He's like, nah. And then fucking ducks out. And then proceeds to go around the side and just wait.
Yes.
And then people fall out and he's like, thank you. Rack. Into this seemingly indestructible fucking announce table.
Yeah.
Like 3 people, 2 or 3 people get wrecked into this table. Yeah. It doesn't want to break. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he absolutely cleans everybody out the minute they come flying out of that ring. He was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, he was the first to set up a ladder, I believe. And
that may be about right,
yeah. Yeah. And then Andrade's just like, nope, and just pushes him off. And that's the end of Randy for a little while.
But there was, there in terms of spots, this was brilliant.
Yeah.
There was so
There's a reason
much
they call
cool
Randy the
shit.
Viper.
Yeah, so
so
just Randy being that opportunist, taking as they come into his sort of.
He did this beautiful
vision.
I think he grabbed Andrade and yanked him off the ladder and RKO'd him as he was coming down.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Beautiful.
Sorry,
I love that. There was a lot of like very particular setups. I noticed by Andrade particularly, like he put the one ladder between the ropes and another ladder. And then
he put it. So there was a ladder across the apron to the table announced at one point.
Yes,
there was
Drew McIntyre set one up.
Yep, there was one from the ropes onto a ladder in the center of the ring.
Ah, interesting.
We'll get to that in just a sec. So, so there was all that, and then there was just, I don't know who fucking Finn Balor.
So Andrade had Finn Balor at the top of the ladder, and Andrade ended up getting him into like a power bomb. Yeah, onto the ladder. It was so he hits
the ladder bounces, Finn Balor gets airborne, comes back down on the ladder falling off, and then later on he gets thrown onto a sideways ladder right on the top end.
Baron Corbin, I think, did that to him. Like, I think it was a choke slam or something.
Absolutely gnarly.
There's a spot where...
presumably because he's IC champ. He's the only person in that ring with a belt, and they're like, fuck you specifically.
Yes.
Like, he just got hammered.
Absolutely.
Fuck this chair, by the way. It's still going.
I'm pretty sure I've written in here somewhere, poor Finn is copping all the ladder hits. Like, everybody's just hammering for him through the ladders. Like, you need to be down and out because you've already got a championship. Give us all a go. There was this beautiful spot where Ali ended up going through the it was the ladder on the apron and the
announce table.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Ali went through it.
Yeah, it was. Ali went through it, and then you see Randy Orton behind him go, oh.
Yeah, and the ladder has snapped in half. Ali ended up getting choke slammed through an announce table as well. I think 2 announce tables broke in that match, finally. There was just some beautiful... You have to watch it. You have to watch this match. There is too much to explain. There is so much going on. There's just some beautiful, beautiful spots. Like, it was just... I was sitting the entire time, like, gripping the edge of my bed, like... Oh! Get him! I was just gobsmacked.
But let's get to that finish. So...
It was so good.
In comes Ali. Ali gets up the ladder, makes his way to the top. He has that briefcase ready to go.
Sorry, it was Ricochet that went through the ladder and snapped.
It wasn't
Ricochet,
Ali. Thank you. So Ali gets up on that ladder. He's ready to take that belt off and hear this dun 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 dun. I'm like, you fucking son of a bitch. In comes Brock Lesnar, fanging it. And for a man with 0 leg muscle, he runs down that thing.
Paul Heyman
right behind him. As Brock Lesnar comes down, he proceeds to fucking push a ladder in like 3 camera dudes, wrecks them, comes into the ring,
pushes Ali off the ladder,
gets up, takes that shit down, sits there, and then with like the biggest shit-eating grin,
he's sitting on the top of the ladder.
Brock Lesnar is Mr. Money in the Bank.
This pissed me the fuck off. Okay, so if you're going to have your 8th member come in and you're going to have it Brock Lesnar, like, I get it, it's Brock Lesnar, he's mysterious, he comes whenever he wants. Bye. I just saw you go down, I'm sorry. If you're going to have him as the 8th man in the match, put him in the entire match. This was just a bullshit cop-out for Brock Lesnar, and I'm pissed. We know that Brock Lesnar has retired from UFC. He is primarily a WWE superstar now. He is... I'm so pissed. Like... He should have been in the entire match. It should have been announced that he was in the match. He should have fought for that title. You don't just get to show up suddenly and just pick your title win. What if, like, Carmella went out and then Becky Lynch was just like, hey, like, I'm just going to take the belt. Like, I'm just going to take Money in the Bank and I'm just going to go for, I don't know, my title. I'm going to fight myself. Like, you can't do that. Like, you look at matches like where Becky came in and she's like, I think it was Royal Rumble, and she's like, hey, she's injured, can I take her spot? And they let her have it. Like, you need to have some sort of officiating.
I'm sure that happened. That probably happened backstage. But yeah, I'll let you rant and then I'm going to jump in on this.
But you need some sort of proper officiating. You need somebody to say, hey, guys, we have a new entrance into this match. Like, you can't just show up. It has to be announced. It is BS, and I'm pissed. And I hate Brock Lesnar. I hate him. He is not deserving of anything. He doesn't show up to work half the time. He doesn't he's not a fighting champion. He only shows up to main events. He comes to the Raw. He came to Raw. Like, he just comes when he wants to just be like, hi, bye. He shows up late, leaves early. Like, he's the worst employee in the world. He's there to do a job, and he gets paid shit tons to do it. And all he does is just rocks up, take a case, and leave. He didn't even break a sweat. Like, how dare you? Like, break a sweat for your job. Like, sorry, I just get really pissed. Like, take it seriously.
My issue here is just how this is, as you said, this is poorly fucking handled. There are 7, if not 6 other men in this match that totally deserved this spot. All this does is this diminishes everything that the likes of Drew McIntyre, the likes of Andrade, the likes of Ali, people that genuinely deserve a proper fucking push.
Yeah.
And all this comes down to is more back, breaking the fucking fourth wall here. This is just Vince McMahon shit. Vince, for some reason, seems to persist that Brock Lesnar is this fucking
money-making machine. He's not.
In the entire time that Brock has had this Universal Championship, the Raw has been at the lowest point it ever has been.
Lowest ratings.
I'm not saying that they're like mutually exclusive, but they're not. It's not coincidence. Like, this is what happens when you have a champion who's never fucking around. No one gives, like, that's not fucking around in terms of he's there as a fighter. It was not fucking around, as in he is not there. So all this is doing is removing a shot from somebody else. Now, we know that Vince fucking loves Brock for some ungodly reason. So there is zero issue about him coming in and getting a title shot. He could get it whenever he wants. So why the fuck do they have to give him this briefcase?
Exactly.
Why can't they give the briefcase to something who is deserving? And then if they really want Brock to have a match, just get him to come in and give him a match.
Yeah.
Now, my presumption here is that this was done on. This is fucking killing my arms. The presumption on this was that it was in order to create some nice heel heat. You know who has fucking genuine heel heat?
Baron Corbin. Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. So what Vince McMahon would have heard? He would have heard them. Everyone be like, "Oh, fuck," and everyone goes, "Yes, hate Brock." Like, no, this is hating on Vince. Baron Corbin, as part of his character, because we get more character out of him than we ever fucking do out of Brock.
Yeah.
Genuine heat. So, like, if Baron Corbin walks out with that fucking case, people would have booed. They would have booed that heart out, but we wouldn't have got the reactions that we were getting. So, if you scrolled over Twitter, everyone's like, I'm fucking done with the WWE. This is the same bullshit that we see constantly, year in, year out. It's just the stupid fucking Vince McMahon shit. This is not benefiting story. Like, there is nothing here. Now, the only thing this can potentially do is line up a fucking match at Saudi Arabia, which is in 2 weeks at this point. That's the only reason. And then if that's the case, why not just give him a match?
Yeah.
Like, if you've got 2 Money in the Bank briefcases, and let's put this out. The reason that they bought these Money in the Bank pay-per-views sooner is to take on the likes of AEW, right?
Yes.
Because they're like, well, this is a big pay-per-view. We want people to come and watch ours instead because there's intrigue with these briefcases, right? And when you have one person cash in on the same night, which is fine, they've done it a couple of times now, and it worked, and it totally worked in this situation. However, by giving the other case sort of having that intrigue, you don't give it to this fuck. Like, because he said, what they're trying, I think the real idea is,
it's like them giving it to Charlotte. Like, it's just not okay.
The minor smart thing about this decision is because they're taking advantage of Brock never being around. Because if he's never around, you don't know when he's gonna cash in. The big difference is no one gives a fuck.
No one cares.
No one fucking cares.
They're gonna forget there's even a Money in the Bank briefcase because Brock is never around.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get to it later, but there is, like, half the time Brock doesn't even show up. It's just Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is the one that shows up and advocates on Brock's behalf. Like, I hope Brock pays you a decent amount of money because...
On the plus side, or with the, the retirement of the UFC... Brock has no leverage anymore. The leverage used to be that I'm going to go to UFC at any minute, and that's why Vince would just hand him money over fist.
Yes.
So he would give him money and be like, I want to do fucking 2 shows. And he's like, yeah, man, here you go, here's all your money. Yeah. So without that leverage now, like, why, like, apart from Vince's wanting to, like, fucking suck his dick, apparently, like, what is the incentive of Brock? What is the incentive for Vince to keep pumping that money? And, it's just, if you're getting this reaction, like, It's fucking annoying. It's fucking
No. Yeah, and we're done with him.
The worst thing, Dash did mention this in the chat a minute ago. This outcome wasn't known to anyone. So the whole idea is that like that fucking Brock was hanging in like some broom closet somewhere, so no one knew he was there, and they got told when they came to the gorilla. Up until that moment that they were about to walk out, everybody thought they were all told that Ali was going to win, and
that would have been amazing. Could you imagine the heat he'd get? Like, you know,
like the Poppy would get.
The Poppy would get. And, like, you know, imagine Ali up against the likes of Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin for this thing.
How horrible is that?
Yeah.
How horrible is that?
It's, again, this is... I feel, knowing this now, I feel bad for Ali because this guy lost... This guy should have been in Kofi Kingston's position, but due to injury, he missed out. And now it's finally his turn to get something, and Vince is like, lol, you're just another Kofi Kingston. Screw you, I'm putting Brock in the winning seat. Like... Fuck you. Vince McMahon, eat a giant bag of soggy dicks.
See, the real issue here is like the fact that nobody knew is disgusting.
That's appalling.
Because like, you know, this is the whole, everyone's like, fuck yeah, Ali, this is
it's
rad.
your time,
like,
yeah.
It's not even your time. This is fucking rad. Like a nice,
it's a good comeback from what happened.
A good competitor is getting a shot.
Yeah.
They're getting that's what a push should be.
That's what he needs.
You don't get pushed then be pushed aside. This is fucking stupid. And it's just behavior like this is why people want to leave.
Yeah.
So, you know, we all understand that the WWE and wrestling is scripted. We are not stupid. We understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But it works best when everyone's in on the script.
Yeah, exactly it.
Like, it's one of those things, it's just, like, we'll get to in a minute, but apparently, like, I think it was not Raw this week, but was it this week? Maybe in last week. One of the two. They made it this week. The script wasn't even finalized before they started airing.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Vince does everything on the fly, and it's ridiculous.
And that's
the whole wild card thing was done on the spot. Vince was just in his head straight away. Wild card, I'm a genius.
But it doesn't fucking, like, it's just mishandling. Like, when the whole idea and what makes wrestling amazing is the idea of this long form storytelling. It's fucking real life comic books, and that's what it should be. It's these battles of battle of good and bad in fucking huge costumes with long stories and like stories that mean something and go somewhere. And like, I understand they do have that pressure right now of the ratings and whatnot, but at the same point, when it comes down to, I don't think he realizes that decisions like this with Brock, reactionary bullshit decisions, aren't making people stay around. It's turning people away.
Exactly. The ratings are going down and down. Like, Brock is just going to tank everything. Like, I'm watching Raw this week. Obviously, night after, Brock's going to show up. I was immediately like, oh, great. Brock's going to be on Raw this week. I don't want to watch it. And I had to begrudgingly watch Raw because... You know, we do this for you guys, but I was like, I don't want to see this anymore. Like, I was like, thank God this is the end of the show because I can't watch anymore. Yeah. Like, I'm fed up.
Thankfully, I was at work, because if I was watching this at work, if I watched at home, there would have been swearing and I probably would have thrown some shit. Because this is fucking gross. And
yeah, I was this close to throwing my laptop, but I've already broken one, so I can't do that. I was so close.
It's just shit. Like, we'll get to our final scores in just a moment because we've got real fucking overtime, but because we've still got another show to do. An outcome like this throws out an entire, what was a very solid pay-per-view. Like, it was a tight 3.5 hours. It was like, compared to the 5, 6, 7 hours we've seen in the past, it was short, it was tight, and it was like pretty much all, apart from like, the Cruiserweight and maybe Roman, but even Roman was still an okay match. Like, there was no something. Distinctly down notes until that one moment. And this is the thing, like, people don't remember what happened. So people remember the last thing they see, and they see this bullshit.
Yep.
Everyone will go, this pay-per-view sucks.
And immediately I went, the last thing I saw was Brock Lesnar, so the first thing I'm going to see when I start Raw is Brock Lesnar. Great. And I was disappointed. Look, Dash has said Raw is at its lowest rating since 95-96, the period where WCW was winning Monday Night War. Yeah. And that was on TNT, which is the company that AEW is now televising on, which is ridiculous. I was like, 5-6 years old then. I am 28 years old now, and it is at its lowest when it should be at its peak.
Or it should be at least doing well.
Yeah, exactly. It like right now is the time for the WWE to capitalize. They are a huge franchise. They've got everything going for them, and Brick Loser is like tanking everything for it. I don't want to watch. I don't want to see his face around. I'm glad that he never shows up to work because I don't.
And the shitty thing is with the wild card rule, he'll just show up wherever, and which means I'll start caring less about SmackDown.
Yeah,
because like in terms of the two, Raw is really burning out on me fast.
Yeah,
SmackDown is still doing well.
Yeah, exactly. I can agree. I've always favored SmackDown. I don't know why. I think because it's always been the underdog show to me. I've always favored SmackDown. But I'm off it.
And for that reason alone is why I'm really happy that we're getting the SmackDown house shows come later this year.
I am so excited to see the likes of Asuka and the New Day and.
But anyways, let's get into the final thoughts. What did you think of the pay-per-view overall?
Look, overall,
give me your Kurt Angles.
Overall, it was pretty solid for me. For the most part, I enjoyed more than I didn't like, except for the main like sort of ending. I'd probably give it 1.5 Kurts. Yeah,
look, I'm in the same. It's a Kurt and a bar for me. And that comes down to like simply that it was overall like when you break it down into its parts, I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
solid start, solid-ish finish.
Like.
That match was good until that last.
If we weren't at least looking at it somewhat critically, it would be like, because that last moment really fucking just kicked them in the dick. Well, let us know what you guys thought in the chat as well.
Yeah, tell us.
Everyone that's watching from Patreon Live, give us your Kurtz as well. That'd be cool to know. But yeah, it's like that last moment is really just like it's just a kick in the dick. It's a kick in the dick for those that try to care about the past.
And Vince did say, and Roman Reigns has brought this up before shortly after Roman Reigns left. Vince did say, the WWE universe is the authority here. You guys are in charge. None of us asked for this. None of us. This is all you, Vince. Like. You're the authority still, and nobody likes you, so fuck the Vince,
that's the biggest problem. Like, towards the end of last year, like, you guys are the authority now. No more automatic rematches, and what are we seeing? Automatic rematches and a fuck ton of authority.
Yeah, ridiculous.
They just fail to keep their word.
Yep. Oh, Dash did also say that when it comes to scripting, it was this week's Raw in the 3rd hour they still hadn't finalized it. Full on. Craig did say he heard that I was 6 when WCW was on TV, and he just turned to dust.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he was like 18, 19. I think maybe in the early 20s. Because I've heard stories about him getting shit-faced watching wrestling.
Yeah, I love it. Dash did say that the pay-per-view sucked.
Yeah. But see, the thing is with... Like,
Dash is a negative Nancy,
with old heel Dash over here.
Yeah.
Everything's poo until AEW happens.
We'll call him Dash
And then
Ziggler.
Everything gets shittier again. Because AEW will be dope and everything will be poos.
We'll call him Dash Ziggler, heel Ziggler.
So even though like you sort of the mid and me trying to be the face of fucking
look, I'm pretty.
Podcast, if we shit on it,
yeah,
you are the Renee Young.
I'm the Renee Young.
If we shit on this, it's not doing the same. It's not doing well.
I do Dean Ambrose.
You would.
Kilobyte did give it a solid 1.
Did you give it a 1?
Yeah, he gave it a 1. He said it's a 1 from me.
I 1 Kurt Angle from me. Some great matches, but there were some few missteps that ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah, and Craig was 25.
Yeah. There you go. What, Dash, were you the same age as Craig or me?
Wait, hang on, what year was it?
96.
96, I would have been 7.
Yeah. Wild.
But that brings us to the end of this Money in the Bank episode. Be sure to hang around because literally you'll get this in your podcast feeds and then probably about a minute later you get the weekly shows.
You will.
Bring it up there. So let us know what you thought in Money in the Bank in the Facebook group, Discord, or however you want to contact us on the social medias. It's all well and good down there. But that was the Young Elmo Wrestlers. You can listen to us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, 9 a.m. on the YouTubes. If you want to join the chat like these lovely gentlemen have, head over to patreon.com/popculturists. At any tier you donate, even something as simple as $1 do, you get yourself a nice little link to come and join this conversation. And once again, big, massive, huge, giant shout out to Kilobyte for becoming a new patron for us and putting a big fucking hunk of dollars down, man.
So much love.
Things like that helps make this happen, man. Like, it's all well and good. It's very, very cool shit. And we should also mention as well, we haven't announced this officially, but we'll put it on here. Ooh. we have formally decided that Jem is no longer just the subculturist. She is, in fact, a pop culturist. She is one of the now 4 faces of the pop culturist. That's it. One of the confirmed official faces.
I'm so excited.
It's massive. It's awesome.
So huge.
And what we need to do soon is we need to do a photo shoot because we've got some old ass fucking photos.
Yep.
I'm like 20 kilos less in those photos. It's unrealistic.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
No worries. Welcome to the team,
on the
man.
Team.
After 25 weeks,
just a little bit.
probably about time.
Yeah.
But no,
Thanks,
we're more than happy to have you on board. It's all brilliant. But until what else have we got on there? Oh yeah, Patreon.
Podcast.
That one's done. If you want to support us, maybe not in a monthly way, but maybe you want to get some once-off sort of stuff, head to thepopcultures.com/shop where you can buy things like this and other assorted shit with our logos on it. Eventually soon you'll be able to get your own Jem merchandise. I don't know what it will be, but I'll make it happen. We'll work it out. If you also want to join us on Twitch at twitch.tv/thepopculturist, we go over there and predict a bunch of pay-per-views. We've got Super Showdown in 2 weeks, so we'll certainly be doing that one as well.
Yes.
We've got AEW this weekend.
Woo! You might get one of those.
What's your schedule this weekend?
This weekend itself, I'm available all weekend. I go back to work on Tuesday.
You want to come watch Double or Nothing on Sunday?
Yeah, down.
What up?
Done.
And then we might do a sneaky one on Sunday for you.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
AEW.
Yeah.
What else is there? That's pretty much good.
I think that's everything. Yeah,
cool.
merch, all of it.
Easy.
We've got it covered.
I'm Ryan Betson.
And I'm the pop culturist in the bank, Jem.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Or, well, in 10 minutes. Not even, I suppose.